Welcome, YouTube. This is our first episode of Only Anime. This is the anime for all the otakus. Instead of paying for OnlyFans, you can pay for Only Anime. What do you think about that, Justin?
Only anime. Sounds interesting. I'd
Yeah,
pay for it.
yeah, you gotta pay for it. No, it ain't gonna be. It's not gonna be for free, but it's gonna be free on YouTube. But for the behind the scenes, for all the hentai, you gotta go back to the. You gotta go to our Patreon for our hentai or OnlyFans because we don't have OnlyFans too. Might as well because it's called Only Anime, so might as well have our OnlyFans with it too. Call it Only Anime, right?
So it's gonna be the anime naked, not us, right? Like
I mean, what I know. If the people wants to be naked, we might as well be naked too, just in case, you know.
If the people want it, I mean,
Yeah, I'm here to serve the people. I'm here to serve our fellow takus. Okay, so this is episode 1. So let's begin this. Let's start playing around. Let's start with some of the topics. So right now, what are you currently watching?
for me specifically, currently, I just caught up with season 2 of
Talking to Mike.
Jujutsu Kaisen. I want to start Vinland Saga.
Well, no. Oh, okay. So I should be asking you, what are you currently watching that's like simulcasting? Do you know why simulcasting is?
No.
All right, so within like the broadcasting world, when somebody says something simulcasting, that means that it's currently being premiered or it's currently being broadcasted.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so not anything like Vinland Saga season 2 was ended ended in the springtime.
Oh, I got you. So One Piece.
Yeah, One Piece is always simulcasting.
Yeah. And Jujutsu Kaisen, it's still ongoing, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so those two.
They actually go and take a break too, to get before because the next arc is the Shibuya arc, which is a very very bloody arc, bro. It's like it's crazy. Like it gets to a point where you adjust if you gotta just adjust it. If you gotta adjust it.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
It gets to a point where they finally capture Gojo, and it gets. I'm not here spoiling. No, you know what? No spoiling. But the Shibuya arc is a. If you think it got bad in the first like 4 episodes of yeah, then it gets really really bad during the Shibuya arc. But yeah, that's what else you watching?
I don't know. For right now, that's about it. It's hard keeping up with One Piece alone.
Bro, you only watching 2 anime being simulcasted?
Yeah, for the most part.
Bro, I could never like if I was only watching 2, I'll be so. Right now, my current watch list is crazy. I'm really far behind, and I couldn't imagine being any more far behind than you, bro. Like there's so many things that come out that I cannot watch. That I want to watch, but I just don't have the time to do it.
I mean, for me, I always find myself just rewatching some of the older ones just to relive some of those good moments.
What older ones are you talking about?
Like Dragon Ball Z, I tend to just constantly watch like Vegeta things or just old One Piece fights or even Naruto stuff like that too. I mean, I forgot to mention Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War.
Oh, are you watching that simulcasting?
Yes. Oh man, every week, every episode.
No, yeah. I started the first 2 episodes. I don't know why. I was watching them like, man, I had to be in a better mood to watch this. Like whatever mood I was on during that time, I just could not like sit down to watch this thing.
No, let me tell you.
But I seen the animation, bro. It's peak animation.
Bro, it's not even if you've only gotten to like what was it, the first 2 episodes or so, that's like the setup, man. Once you get to I think it's like episode 6 or 7, there's I don't want to spoil anything, but there's like a specific stuff that happens in there and it's like oh, like for me specifically, I was even talking to someone else about like what would you say your favorite weapon is in all of fiction? And for me personally, it was Zanpakuto.
Okay.
Because Zanpakutos are just so unique to like the specific person. It's kind of like devil fruits, but I feel like devil fruits you're inheriting someone's will.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas Zanpakuto, that's your own personal thing. And whether or not you choose to make it badass is up to you. It could be ass, but are you gonna make it badass or are you just gonna leave it at ass?
I feel you. Yeah. So for me, what I'm currently watching, I'm watching I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm watching Bongo Stray Dogs, which is season 3, is crazy. It had a big reveal. I ain't gonna spoil it for you guys, but it's going
Scale of
bonkers.
1 to 10, how much would you recommend that though?
It's not like the top tier. It's no like Jujutsu Kaisen. It's not like no Vinland Saga. It's not gonna like blow your mind, but it's a thing to watch where you can watch some nice fiction and some nice character development, stuff like that. It's like it's good to watch, but it's not the best thing to watch. Like I'm already invested since season 1 and season 2, so I gotta finish season 3.
Got it, yeah. I get
Okay, I'm watching. Mushensei, the Jobless Reincarnation. Like season 2 came out too. I'm watching that. What else am I watching? Like a lot, yo. I just I'm watching a lot, but at the same time, I have a lot still to watch. So, with that, we can go to the next topic, which is, what do you think about the current anime culture?
Man, for that one, I gotta love hate with it.
Me too.
Because I love that we all now have a community
Yeah.
where everyone can be like I was telling you off camera. I find people that watch One Piece with me, and I'm like, oh man, this is great. It's great being a part of this. I can share my thoughts, but it's the same thing of like growing up. There was not that type of community.
Where were you?
Where were you when I was growing up? Like we didn't have this. We got like brutally, or well, not brutally, but like verbally assaulted.
Yeah, we're weirdos.
Yeah. You had to hide. You were those lame kids over there, like. Oh yeah, he watches Yu-Gi-Oh. It's like I can't just enjoy the show.
Yeah.
I'm over here watching Yu-Gi-Oh. You watching like Dexter's Lab. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I was actually, I wanted to have this conversation with my cousin on a podcast, but it is what it is. I'm having it with you because I was with him in New York City, and we went to this anime party bar thing, and I'm thinking like I'm gonna walk in there. I'm gonna like, these are my peoples. I walk in there and I do not like none of these people. I've probably watched more anime than all of them all together. Like they're playing the songs in the back of all the anime songs. I'm naming the songs to my cousin. Like this is from this anime, this anime, this anime. But these people are just weirdos. I'm like, you can be an anime lover and not be a weird person. I love that. You'll be hard pressed to find somebody else who watches as many anime as I have. You'll be hard pressed, but at the same time, I'm still like I'm a functioning member of society. You know what I'm saying?
Now, some people take it to different lengths. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as like having the body pillows and whatnot. I think that's taking it.
I would do that. I do it for the culture at the end of the day.
I mean, that's me personally.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go about doing that. But no, I understand what you're saying, because like I know a lot of people. This is one of the reasons why I'm not happy with the culture either. Is because a lot of people, they'll watch like a majority of like the shonen anime.
Yeah, I hate that.
And they'll be like, Naruto's the best anime.
I'm like, you are a trash person.
Naruto is a good anime, in my opinion. I do like it, but compared to a lot of the other anime out there, it's not really.
It's nowhere close to anything good.
When someone tells me, if I ask you, hey, top 5 anime on your list, like, and they tell me Naruto's number 1.
And I know you're a trash person.
I'm like, yeah, I can't trust you.
Okay, so now that you brought that up, we might as well have that conversation. What is your top 5?
Top 5, I had to write it down. It is a difficult question, but for me overall, I know for a fact my number 1 is definitely Full Metal Alchemist.
Brotherhood or
Brotherhood?
Okay.
Brotherhood. Yes. So, I know you're probably not gonna be a fan of me after I tell you the 5, but I've only watched so much. With that being said, and there's only certain ones that like I still like. Certain ones, it's different variables on why I appreciate it more. I got Full Metal Brotherhood, One Piece,
okay,
of
course, yeah, it has to be. If One Piece is not on your list, then the conversation's over. Conversation's over.
To me personally, I think everyone should have One Piece at least within the top 3.
The minimum.
Yeah. Then Dragon Ball Z.
You are a trash person. You are a trash person, bro. I'm offended, bro. I'm about to drop the podcast. Like, this is. Oh my god! I'm about to scrub my podcast. This is insane.
The only reason why is because when like it's mainly for Vegeta. It's mainly for Vegeta. Every time
That doesn't make you sound any better.
all right, yeah. Every time I'm feeling down or I'm feeling like in a low position, Vegeta has always been the one that's like kind of like brought me up with like his many speeches. There's something about the anime besides the nostalgia that like really gets to me. It was the music, everything with that anime growing up. I think it might be just the nostalgia in general. Me and my cousin go about this all the time. We're like to the point where we would play Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi to the music and try and recreate some of the fights. Like be like, oh wait, that moment's about to happen. Yo, use Death Ball right now. Like, and we would that's how much we appreciate it. So I think it might be nostalgia.
See, okay, I see what you're trying to say, but it's not because it's a better anime. It's because it has a special place in your heart.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Because I've always argued this point that back then to us, Dragon Ball Z was like godsend. It was a thing to have because that's all we knew. But as soon as the world opened up to anime, and we saw what anime was and what anime could be, Dragon Ball Z is trash when compared to storytelling, character development, build up, all that stuff. It does not compare. But that's number 3. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Next one, Bleach.
It is what it is. Go ahead.
Bleach is more or less like I liked a lot of the character design.
Mm-hmm.
The story is kind of but I mean it took me a while to like think about it, but overall I do feel like that one could be replaced with some of the ones that are coming up now, which leads me to the next one, which is Jujutsu Kaisen.
You're gonna put a brand new anime on your top 5.
Yes,
that's insane, bro.
Yes, let me tell you, from what I've been seeing through like the movie and like the first season, and then the new season that's been coming out, the episodes, like I'm like this is really good. I like the characters. The only issue I have is I'm not in love with like Yuji or like
Yuji as the main character is trash.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of him, but I have to say I do love
the storytelling.
Not really the storytelling, everything in the past, like the movie. I loved all those alternate characters that they like. Those guys.
I forgot his name, but he's coming on Shubi arc. He's gonna come back.
Yeah, and then the season 2, how it's focusing in the past on how everyone got to the way they were. I like Gojo's story. I like what's his name, Geku. Geto. That's what it is. Yeah, I love him overall. Like everything about them too. Their dynamic. I love it. Oh my god, man.
Okay. So from a blue blood anime otaku, I'm one of the original ones. I'm one of the ones that was out here in the trenches, like back in the day when anime wasn't cool. So my opinions of the top 5 best animes is gold. Like it's literally like take it to the bank and cash that bad boy. That's how you know I'm
the list.
It's the list because I'm the realest one. Number 1 has to be One Piece. One Piece has stood the test of time after time.
For that the only reason why I put One Piece on my number 2 is because it hasn't finished yet. So I'm not sure how the ending is. There's multiple animes where I feel like they were really good, and then the ending kind of like switched. Like for me, Blue Exorcist was like
it was always trash from day one.
Well, I mean, I personally liked it, and then the ending of the first season at least, I was like, you had me.
Yeah,
but I'm gone.
Okay. So number 2, the fact that this kid did not say Attack on Titan, I am offended because Attack on Titan literally built it built a world where it had. I remember watching season 1, thinking I knew everything about the world of Attack on Titan. Then, bam, something new happens, and what we thought we knew, we did not know. Okay, now we know about the world of Attack on Titan. And season 3 happens. What the hell? And every season that they made blew my mind, bro.
Nothing you know was real.
Nothing,
No.
bro. We thought that there was nobody outside the whole island thing. Come to find out.
Spoilers.
Oh my! my fault, YouTube. Yeah.
Nah, like I completely understand you. It is a good anime, and I will admit, like, it kind of flew right over my head. I forgot about that one. It is a great anime, and I will say, I was with it for like season 1. I really much liked it, bro. Irving's speech to his soldiers. Oh my god,
Bro.
iconic,
Bro.
But
Before you finish that, I'm pulling Kanye real quick. I'm gonna let you finish, Taylor. That speech. That speech at that moment in time, I was literally ready to die with the kids. I remember watching. I'm in my house watching this anime. I'm like, and I'm reading the speech. I'm like, Irvin, yes, I'm ready to die with you. Low key, bro. I was ready to die with this voice.
you already dressed in the attire, like, oh, let's go.
I'm like, yes, like my man fight, my man roar. I'm like, yes, I'm ready to go. I'm dying tonight.
Yo, as a matter of fact, let me ask you this though. Did you watch that in like which voice acting hit you more? Was it?
I actually watched it in English.
So was the English
Yeah.
dub actors? All right, yeah. Because I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it might have been like better to hear that specific moment
Yeah.
in English rather than in Japanese, and that's just from like
Yeah.
our perspective. Being
The voice actor just killed it too.
phenomenal. Yeah,
Phenomenal.
great job.
Yeah.
Great fucking job. But yeah, man, I get you. I was there.
I'm like, if I die tonight, I died for a cause. Yeah, I'm like, okay, so I think I'm on number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4 has to be Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop needs to be on everybody's top 5. If you, because back then, that's what it was. Like, you know, that's what it was. And my last one is, of course, I gotta pay respect to the great one, Fullmetal Alchemist, but Brotherhood, and that's a legit list from an OG. I'm talking about a blue blood OG has been doing it for a long time, bro.
Understandable. It's I could agree with pretty much all of those picks. I could. Cowboy Bebop though, specifically for me, I was a fan of it, but not that much a fan of it. Like there were certain episodes where it just felt like it was kind of and being that it was so short, I mean, it told the full story and it finished it, but I don't know, I'm not a big fan of like every episode being like somewhat of a different story, more or less. That's why I like animes like Dragon Ball Z or One Piece or like Naruto, because it continues to tell the story. Each episode was different.
Yeah.
I will say that ending, that last episode,
Yeah,
that was peak.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's transition to the next topic. Do you remember your first anime?
My first anime. So it's technically 2 because I kind of got into one unknowingly when I was a child, and I'd say the one that I favor over the other. So my technical first anime was Pokemon.
Okay, yeah, me too. Yeah.
So unfortunately,
Well, why? Unfortunately.
because that's a part of like my worst anime list.
Really?
So, yes, and my first anime that I would consider my first anime is definitely Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that's what it was back then. That's what we had. I mean, back then we didn't know what anime was, and you know, I didn't know Pokemon was an anime for years.
Let me ask you this though. How did you come across anime?
Okay, so I'm from the hood, as you can tell with the do rag and the hoodie. I'm from the hood. So you know, we just moved into this new house we had, and you know, I just came back. I just came to the country like 4 or 5 years ago, and we literally took we had a TV and we had this little black cord. Like, what does it do? We connected the black cord to the TV, and voila, cable. I like what is this animation? Wow, it got to a point where because we just moved into the house, whoever had the house prior to us, he was paying a cable bill. Eventually, he stopped paying the cable bill, and we lost our cable. Being from the hood, of course, what we did is we went over to the other house, bought a splitter, and stole their cable. I just discovered
neighbors back then was like, oh my god, I got him.
I just discovered anime, bro. You taught me. I just discovered anime, one of the greatest storytelling, animation, whatever you want to say, ever. And we're broke, we're poor people. My parents are not gonna pay for cable, so there's no other way for us to do it. But instead, we decided to steal cable. So I was stealing cable since I was like 7 years old.
Understandable.
Yeah.
You do what you must to see anime. I got
you do what you must to see anime, bro. Okay, so top 5 watch. Okay, so what's your top 5 worst animes?
Oh, worst animes. Let me tell you. Personally, Fairy Tail #1.
I agree with you. Now, not number one, but it was bad.
So it makes me laugh because I was literally looking this up yesterday. Like, what are other people's top worst animes? And let me tell you, I went on through Reddit and I'm like looking through, and it made me laugh because one guy was like, "How fucking dare you say Fairy Tail?" And then he went on a whole list, whole rant about friendship. And I'm like, nah, fam, nah. Like, cause I was with Fairy Tail. I enjoyed it. It was decent for a while. But what kind of like pissed me off specifically was the fact that like they sat there and they were dormant. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, the time skip. Yeah. I make the same argument all the time.
They came back being dormant for 2 years. Their whole guild became useless.
Yeah. So
no one.
I've been watching anime for the longest time in my life, and every anime, not every anime, but like most animes, they do what's known as a time skip. And during time skips, it's how they explain. It happened in Naruto, happened also in Bleach too. A time skip is what it's. Did it happen in Bleach? I don't remember, but I think it did. But
yeah,
you do a time skip so that you can train a character without the minute of how he became who he became. So that's the point of a time skip. A character will get trained, and Naruto did a time skip and went with Jiraiya, got trained by Jiraiya, and became a stronger character. Fairy Tail decided to be dumb as hell. Do a time skip where the characters do not develop. So what's the point of you taking 2 years from the characters and they do not develop?
Matter of fact, just off of that too, we had to watch them develop anyway.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
We literally got the time skip. We saw none of the development of their guild, right? They all just grew older. The motherfucker, the one guy is bald. He just lost all his hair, and then they all come back and they go into this tournament so they could get the money back for like to build up their guild again, and they train for what 3 days, and they're just as strong or stronger, than most of the competition. Like that makes no sense.
Yeah,
it makes literal no sense. As for Bleach, the time skip was when he went to get the full bring.
Oh yeah. Yes. It's been a while. So, yeah, okay. So because that's number 1. What's number 2?
Oh man, number 2 is, it's funny because it's parallel to my top 5 overall. Dragon Ball Kai and Dragon Ball Super.
Okay.
So the same reason that I liked Dragon Ball Z for the music and like the nostalgia, Dragon Ball Kai ruined it for me.
Kai was like a trash can.
The only thing they did was they shortened the fights by like taking out like the
all
screams.
That beam BS. Yeah,
the screams, the beam struggles and whatnot. And Super, I don't particularly like. There's certain concepts I like in Super, but overall, this is probably a controversial opinion, but I think GT was better.
Yo, YouTube, I don't stop with this guy. I'm not with him. I don't know who he is. He just showed up to my podcast. I don't know who invited him.
I just knocked on the door. No, but GT, let me put it this way. Let me explain. All right. So for Super, you bring a new character in, Beerus, who happens to be a god that claims he had like a prediction of like a Super Saiyan god that he wants to fight, a warrior. That's an interesting concept. So, all right. Then you have Frieza that comes back,
Mhm.
right? That why did you bring Frieza back?
I don't talk to me about Dragon Ball Z. I already made my. Always made my opinion about Dragon Ball Z has always been trash, and I'm not. I'm never gonna argue with anybody about that
So
ever.
so for GT, I feel like a lot of the villains, the character designs for them, the reasoning behind them,
Hmm.
I feel like there was way more motive. My favorite concept of Dragon Ball GT out of all of those, I think they should have implemented, which is the evil Shenron.
Okay.
And that I think is a perfect example of there are consequences to your actions,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which that's I feel like something they should have put into Super, if
Yeah.
anything, because you think you're just gonna willy nilly
Bring people back
wish
alive.
everyone back to
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
No, there's
Yeah. There's
consequences.
always gonna be a negative energy to any positive thing. Like positivity,
Um,
negativity are like same sides of the same one coin but different sides. So if you're gonna be positive over here, this has to be negative. Like you're 100% right.
exactly, and that's why like I feel like GT had better concepts
Hmm.
than Super. Some of the characters in Super I do appreciate: Beerus, Jiren, Hit. Like I love Hit as a character.
Hmm.
And there's actually a fan made Dragon Ball Super manga that I seen supposedly coming out with like a bunch of different stuff.
Hmm.
Really interesting. I can't remember the name of it. But for the next one, for my number three, Seven Deadly Sins.
I see what you say. It's over the top.
Seven Deadly Sins season one, I feel like was great, and I really, I when I say I really like the one guy,
Mhm.
Escanor.
Yeah, that's
Oh
good. That's
my
a goat.
god, yeah, he is definitely goat. But everything else, I feel like it's supposed to be geared towards like young boys with like shonen,
Hmm.
correct? But I feel like it was geared towards like young girls when I'm watching. I'm like, what? There's so much romantic stuff.
Oh,
It was very
okay,
reminiscent of like fairy tale
yeah.
to
Hmm.
me, and I've already expressed my opinion on fairy tale. So I overall, as it progressed on, I'm like, this is a lot like fairy tale, and then the animation didn't help. Netflix, I don't know what they did.
Yeah,
They were just like, nah, man, you got your budget.
yeah. I think it be on Netflix. Also, I don't think it was done by like a proper studio too. I don't know the studio it was done by, but it was just it went downstream.
So my number four,
Hmm.
I don't got one. But my number five,
Wait, why don't I don't get that? I don't make no sense.
I skipped over number four. I couldn't think of one that was bad, but I knew no my number five could not be number four and would have to be at number five.
That's weird, but go ahead.
Yeah, it is weird. I understand, but Pokemon.
Okay.
Maybe that explains it. Let me say, like, Pokemon. I remember growing up watching it, and I remember seeing a lot of like the different stuff. I'll never forget the one episode where it transitioned from Kento to Johto. And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Pokemon fan.
Hmm.
Huge Pokemon fan. Like I have so much stuff. I've nearly played every game except, like the bad ones.
Hmm.
Whichever way you interpret that.
Yeah.
But that anime with Ash,
Yeah, the anime altogether, like as an anime, it's bad, but as a almost like a culture, it's amazing.
if anything, I feel like it could be more considered like as a Western cartoon rather than like
Yeah,
a Japanese
I thought it
anime.
was
Exactly.
yeah, me too, but it's an anime, so
I I can't even put Yu-Gi-Oh over there because I enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh and I
the
still
culture
like
of the anime.
the anime.
Okay.
The anime. Even though Yugi is a cheating son of a bitch.
Yugi is a brat bastard.
He's a fucking cheater, bro. Let me tell you. Like, rewatch Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
Rewatch
bro, I know.
he- he- there was a video I saw where the dude was like Kaiba's sitting there and he's like, oh man, like he's like, what could Yugi have put down face down? Like it could have been a trap. Maybe it's like a monster. I have no idea. And then it switches over to Yugi's perspective and he's like, man, I hope Kaiba doesn't realize I pasted down my expired driver's license. It's like,
That's not bad, bro.
like, yo, what if he really did though? But nah, like I remember playing the card game with my brother to the point where we'd be like, oh yeah, like the lights are off, so it's a dark field, so we get buffs for our dark monsters. I'm like, that shit didn't exist.
Yeah.
That wasn't fucking real. I'm like, yo, Yugi fucked up my mind so much. Like, imagine if I went into tournaments, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But despite all that, I still think Pokemon is worse.
Okay, I get you. As we're coming to our end of the podcast, the first episode of Only Animes, tell me, what was your most memorable moment in anime?
Oh, most memorable moment. There's so many.
Right. Okay. Don't say there's so many right now. The first thing that pops into your head, talk to me about it.
First moment. All right. So you're probably gonna hate me.
I already did, but go ahead.
Yeah. So my personal favorite moment is when Vegeta and Goku
He's a Dragon Ball.
exactly
Go ahead.
are in the tournament and he has the M on his forehead.
They blows the stadium.
Yeah, he blows the stadium up. But my favorite part is basically when Supreme Guy goes and he's like, don't you understand that this is more important than your meaningless squabble? And then he goes into his rant and he's like, meaningless? What would you know of meaningless? Have your whole life ruled by another. Have your race dwindled to a handful. And then tell me what means more to you than your own strength.
Mm-hmm.
And then he talks about how Goku saved his life, humoring him, taking away his pride. Everything about that, man. I'm sorry.
It has a special place in your heart.
Yeah.
For me, it has to be it definitely a One Piece moment, and I think it's like the most defining moment in One Piece I've ever known. And One Piece has a lot of moments. Like, I can talk about the Tears of Navigator. I can talk about the moments with Sanji. But to me, it was the moment with Robin.
Oh, I know.
No, and because like as human beings, we always want to be loved. We always want to feel like there's a group of friends that we have that can accept us, that is willing to ride with us. And the whole Straw Hat crew, just Robin gets kidnapped or taken to prison, whatever, and the whole Straw Hat crew has to fight the whole entire government. And and they all finally get there to the little edge thing, and Robin's like, "Oh, don't do it. And the guy's like, "Do you know what you guys are doing? You guys are gonna take on the whole entire world government." Then the movie was like to Usopp, which is Soldier King, burn the flag. And by him as I'm talking about it right now, I'm getting goosebumps. When he does that,